the final battle. Okay, Fick, it's you and me. Let's do this. We're down to the wire. We're down to this, the final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chapters. We're off to the final 3-part battle, then to the 2-part epilogue. Let's see how well you and I can handle this. Let's go. Iridas looked around as she growled, "Where did those creeks go?" Sonic and the others, who were floating next to her, Fluttershy and Twilight flapping their wings to remain in place, like Rainbow, had no answer. All of them looked around. They were in the middle of what only could be described as a tube or a tunnel floating in the air. Also, the tube appeared to be made up of multiple thin lines running close together. The outside of the tube looked very visible to them. The area outside the tube was dark purple and magenta space, with clocks, hourglasses, gears floating around. Some gears had a case of the clock face going around the tube. Discord, Eggman, his head spots, and the time meter were nowhere to be seen. "I don't know, Rainbow. Following them through the portal left us disoriented for a moment. Did they get us to follow them so they could slip away?" Applejack wondered. Rarity glanced over at her. "That sounds like something this cult would do, Applejack, dear. But this is Dr. Eggman." She looked over at Sonic and asked, "Would Dr. Eggman do that?" The golden hedgehog replied, "Yeah, but not this late in the game. When Eggman's ready for a showdown, he doesn't run unless he's persuaded to. This doesn't fit his style." Sonic Tails' voice came from his quills. "Sonic, can you hear me?" Sonic quickly reached back into his quills and pulled out the radio as the others looked down. He turned on and spoke. "Tails, I hear you, buddy. What is it?"
Tails answered, "Just checking in. This means it works."
Fluttershy asked,
What works, Tails?"
Spike answered this time. "When we were riding the train to Camelot, during those quiet moments, Tails asked me and Twilight to help with the radios. He wanted to modify the transceivers or something."
Tails spoke. "You know we were separated by the portal. We should be able to still hear us."
Lizz's voice came through. "We shall help as well." Then Silver's voice. "Let's take the enemy out together." A chorus of voices came up after he said that. Everyone recognized them. Everyone smiled at their radar, knowing that even far apart, their friends and family were still supporting them.
"Every pony,"
Twilight whispered. Suddenly, Pinkie started shaking in place. Sonic and the others looking at her curiously as Applejack asked, "Polly, what's the matter?"
Red Pony replied, "It's what Pinkie says the big's about to happen."
A second after that, she said that. Twilight faced forward and shut her eyes as her magic channeled her horn.
"I feel a magic build-up of energy. Something big is definitely going to happen,"
she said after a moment. Everyone started looking around again at that. Suddenly, Pinkie pointed off to the left side of the tube.
"Oh, look over there, it's Appaloosa!"
Everyone turned their heads looking where she was pointing. On the outside of the tube, they could see the portal leading to Appaloosa flying by. The town still in color, though it had no sky. They could see ponies walking around the side. "Huh, that's kind of weird. What's that to it? What the hell is happening?" She and the others watched in shock as the color in the image started to disappear. But as well, the whole town started to vanish. Discord's laughter suddenly rang through the tube, breaking everyone out of their shock. Fluttershy looked a bit.
I'm in super mode. You'd think you would lighten up."
"Discord, where are you? Show yourself!" Rainbow yelled. The Draconic was really loud to get a response. Everyone soon noticed something out of the corner of their eyes and looked at the left side of the tube again. A few more portals were floating past them along the side of the tube, all of them showing locations the group had visited. And just like Appaloosa, they weren't just losing their colors, they were being erased as well.
"Oh my goodness,"
Fluttershy murmured. Sonic and Twilight turned to look at the right side of the tube, everybody else doing the same after a moment. More portals were flowing by on that side, all of them either showing places from Equestria or Sonic's world. Many of them visited either while getting to friend of friends, or Ponyville's colors back, or on the train ride to Camelot.
"What's going on?"
Twilight asked. As the portals started to flow past, Sonic said, "They're not just losing their colors, they're being broken down to nothing." The portal suddenly began to gravitate further past the group. As he did, the group heard Eggman's voice. "Indeed." They all looked forward and saw the time meter emerge from a purple void up ahead. The coverings on his head slid back, allowing to see Eggman, Discord, Orbot, and Cubot. Eggman was standing up as he spoke. "No matter where they're being used for our games, or were simply being affected by the time meter, they all still existed, occupying time and space. Now they're nothing more than food for the time meter." The grin in his face got bigger, along with anything living in those locations. Sonic and the pony stared at him in disgust and rage. Without worrying, they all flew towards the Time Eater at high speed. As Rainbow flew, "You're not going to get away with this, Eggman! We're going to make you the doing it just into our world, in Equestria!" Discord floated out of his Eggmobile, stopping just in front of the Time Eater as he smirked. "Iggy didn't just do it," Rainbow dashed. "The Time Eater has been the only thing that's been keeping what's inside those portals stable all this time. We could have changed them into food for the Time Eater at any time had they, and so the ponies which we took from them had not been part of the game. Can they all be returned to normal? Perhaps, but as you're going to find out." He spun in midair, and suddenly with a burst of magic became taller, shadowing the Time Eater behind him and knocking the group backwards due to his sudden growth, just like they were about to reach it. No matter what you do, that's not going to happen. While the group righted themselves and the Time Eater began to resort to portals, Eggman sat down in his seat and spoke. "This isn't going to end the same way, Sonic. Before, you've always been there. You always had time to some trick up your sleeve to stop me. That's why I took control of the Time Eater and tried to change the past itself, to erase you and undo my previous defeats." The Time Eater began to glow white as he glared. "But here you are, again, trying to fool my plans. Again, getting in the way at the last possible moment. Again! Not this time, Sonic!" The Time Eater absorbed the last of the portals, the white glow fading a moment. The Time Eater was now sparkling with electricity. It looked sturdier. A ball of what looked like magma circled the creature outside the tube. Eggman spoke. "This time, you and your kindergarten cohorts can't win." Somebody in the comments mentioned they would have loved to have seen this, and I agree with them. I would have loved it if the elements of harmony in Chaos Emeralds mixed when it came to Sonic. And Discord's magic started hitting Sonic a lot more when he was Super. So the main six fired their harmonic energies at Sonic, causing him to vanish in a flash of light. And Discord tries to figure out what's going on, only to be hit repeatedly out of nowhere. Then Sonic suddenly appearing again. This time his quill standing up once more. The gold color has gone, replaced by rapidly flashing quills that match all the colors of the Chaos Emeralds. I just want hyper mode so bad. Sega had to get rid of the last bit of disorientation. Sonic looked at Eggman and grunted. "Whatever you say, Eggman. That brings us up to, what, the millionth time, or however many times you said that now? Just like all those other times. The outcome's not going to be any different this time." Discord grinned down at him. "And what makes you think that, Sonic?" While the main six righted themselves, the Hedgehog answered, "That Time Eater thing behind you? That's probably the newest thing we've seen all day, and it took you guys until now to use it. Everything else has been you guys throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. You sent us to familiar locations we hardly got separated for long in. You sent a bunch of baddies after us that have been stopped before, and you, Chimera Boy, haven't added a whole lot of new chaos to your arsenal. You can't really claim things are going to end differently when, this whole time, you guys have been doing nothing but rehashing." As he raised her hooves up, Applejack nodded. "For sure. You'll make a bunch of crazy things happen. Try to get us with your crazy magic. Think that's gonna work the same way it did first time? That's nothing new, Discord." Eggman growled. "You all think you're so clever, don't you? Well, how do you like this? The Time Eater has a force absorbing everything you seven have ever known. Everyone you know has been erased, and you all got nothing to go back to." I'm better sense up at that, but Sonic said, "You haven't gotten everyone at Eggman." He held his ray up in his left hand. "We still got everyone who made it here to give us back up. Speaking of which, we're still here, so don't start dancing yet."
Mickey grinned. "You Discord are taking your cupcakes out of the oven too early, Iggy. Don't you know you're supposed to count to 4? Really?"
Angry retorted, "I'll be counting down to your doom in a minute, you annoying pink pony. You might be able to survive science at will, but it'll take more than your pinky sense to survive this." Sonic said, "That's why we're all here, so no one has to deal with your clans alone. Friendship got us here, now friendship's gonna make everything right again." Twilight nodded. "Exactly like I said last time, Discord. Friendship isn't easy, but it's worth fighting for. Both Dr. Quanquist and Dr. Eggman groaned in exasperation as they spoke her creed, Discord swinging his head back as he rolled his eyes. By the way, I don't mind the description of the elements as super forms. I just wish there was a better way to describe it. Bringing his head down, he glared at the barrel of magic as he asked, "Is that so?" He looked back and exchanged the look of his glasses-wearing ally before they both grinned. "Well then, let's see you fight for it!" The village challenged before a black portal opened up. Behind the time mirror it disappeared through. Discord snapped his fingers, suddenly disappearing from sight. "Oh, come on, this whole deal's getting old!" Applejack groaned. Sonic looked forward with a determined expression. "Don't worry, Applejack, they're not running away. They're just waiting for us up ahead." Fluttershy reads the next line and down looks at you, crossing her foreloads and tapping her hind leg.
"Vic, I am very, very, very disappointed in you. I haven't been this disappointed in a Vic since the last time we went through Myken. No! You've given me one moment of being good. You know I'm better than this. You, sir, have done nothing but turn me into a coward, a crybaby, and made me useless. Bad. I have half a mind to go out and leave this Vic and come back with Blake. Do you want me to do that, Vic? Because I swear I will leave with Blake and bring back Blake. Don't make me do that. We like you, Vic, but we're not going to stay here and be insulted."
"We'll take it together, like we always do," Rainbow grinned. Twilight grunted, "But Discord separated from Dr. Eggman and the Time Eater. How are we going to fight them both without getting in each other's way?" Sonic replied, "Easy. We split up. One team inside this tunnel and the other on the outside. We'll all take turns." Randy said, "I get it. Somebody needs to go onto the offensive. The others stay back to conserve their energy and provide support." Or you could invite Tails, Silver, Shadow, and Knuckles. Let them have super modes. I would love to see that. You see, Sonic and Sonic facing off against their two Eggmans works in Sonic Generations because it's largely their story. But once again, I want to remind people, you're not confined to just the games in a fic or a movie. You can add somebody. Sonic, exactly. Twilight turned to Sonic and leaned her head towards the radio in his left hand, her horn glowing as he said, "Hang on, I'm going to establish a magic link with the radio so we can all stay in touch." After a minute, the link was established so every opponent could hear the radio, and the teams were decided on. Sonic, Rainbow, Applejack, and Pinkie Pie staying inside the tunnel, while Twilight teleported herself, Rarity, and Fluttershy outside the tunnel. Sonic nodded. "I think we're ready now, Sir Hog." Sonic said, "Right. Then for the fate of both our worlds," Rainbow nodded, "for everybody else in our friendship," they all finished. "Let's do it to it!" You really didn't think I wasn't going to end with Satam, did you? With that, they all flew forward. Rainbow Dash, Twilight, and Fluttershy flapping their wings as they all flew towards the other end of the tunnel, while they all stayed close together. After a short time, both groups came to a stop as a black portal the Time Eater disappeared through, opened up not far from Sonic's group. The beast emerging from within, turning its head before roaring at everyone. As it began to flow slowly, Eggman chuckled. "Still boldly going where no hedgehog or pony has gone before, I see." Sonic replied, "I'll take you anywhere, any day, Eggman. You want to end this? We'll be happy to oblige." The Time Eater moved his arms in front of himself, as if going on the defensive as Eggman said, "Very well. No more games. Show me how strong the power of friendship really is." Applejack fled forward. "If y'all don't mind, I'd like to get kick-started." Sonic nodded in agreement, as did Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie. The hedgehog flying back behind Applejack. Here, Rainbow and Pinkie flanking the Earth Pony as he held her forelegs back and flew towards the Time Eater, while Twilight's group followed outside of the tunnel. Eggman laughed. Really? You're going to try to stop me? I'll make apple strudel out of you. Applejack rolled her eyes. Honestly. Cena glared at him. You're going down. Eggman grinned. Suddenly, the black portal the Time Eater had used earlier opened up again. Though it was much larger this time, and opened up outside the tunnel. Applejack and the others came to a stop, wondering what Eggman and his henspots and Discord were doing. After a moment, the pieces of land from the Green Hill Zone, bits of machinery from the Metropolis, and huge chunks of ice from Ice Cap, and other pieces of the locations the group had gone through began to fill the area outside the tunnel, all of them drifting and flowing to the center of time. Take a look! Eggman said, grabbing everyone's attention. Suddenly, the yellow drill-shaped projectile shot out from behind the Time Eater, some flying up over it and others flying underneath it, but they all began to aim for Applejack. No, Brightburn, I'm sorry. What? Psh! You too, Knuckles. What? Psh! Flying back slightly, Applejack looked down at her spiky tail before looking back up, adjusting her head as he grunted. Let's still see what these Chaos Emeralds can do. She glanced back behind her and said, Sonic, Rainbow, give me the hardest push you can! While Applejack began to spin her tail around like a lasso, Sonic and Rainbow floated backwards for a second, before saying, You got it! Then shot forward, Rainbow's wings flapping even faster than normal as he flew above Sonic, both of them going roughly the same speed. As he approached Applejack, Sonic and Rainbow thrust out her hands and their hose, respectively, using their momentum to push the Earth Pony towards the Time Eater. As they sailed forward, Applejack turned to her side, her tail spinning like a pinwheel in a heavy wind as they got closer to the Time Eater's projectiles. After a moment, her tail struck further above her, sounding like a whip as it hit, and knocked it off course. Her tail still spinning as it quickly smacked one of the underneath off the course as well. As he kept forward, any of the shots she didn't avoid, mostly the ones that came up from below, were smacked off course by her whip-like tail. As he came to stop short distance in front of the Time Eater, and Sonic, Rainbow, and Pinky avoided the remaining shots as her tail stopped spinning, as, No, Apple Bloom! Ksh! You too, Great Chef! Ksh! Facing forward, Applejack held her hose as he glared up at the Time Eater. Suddenly, a portal opened up to its right, and it reached both hands through it. When he came back through, Applejack's eyes widened, as he saw it was holding part of the Green Hill Zone's hills. As the Time Eater moved in front of its face, Eggman taunted, Can you avoid this, Applejack? Applejack looked down at her front hose, while the Time Eater grasped the hill in all of its hands, thumping her hose together as he immediately felt a force emanate from them. Looking back up at the Time Eater, and seeing began to race the hill up with his upper hands, Applejack looked behind her and called, Pike-Eye! As soon as she let the words left her mouth, the pink pony suddenly appeared next to her. Yes, she asked, smiling. You'll remember that plane you keep talking about? The one with the party can and, Applejack trailed off. Pinky smiled even wider as he replied, Oh yeah! The one where we shoot you out of the canyon and have Spike catch you with a butterfly net before you reach the hornet's nest to get stung by 1,000 angry hornets. But Spiky isn't here, Applejack. He can't save you. Well, obviously you need to sing when you're all brown and superpower your mane is all spiky and... Noticing the Time Eater breaking the hill and saying his back over his head, getting ready to either swing or throw it. Applejack growled and cut Pinky out. Let's get your cannon out! Ignoring the fact that she had been interrupted, Pinky reached into her tail and pulled the cannon out, holding it in front of her hose. Applejack quickly floated over to it and stopped inside of it, until only her head and part of her neck and part of her forelegs stuck out. Alright, you know what to do, Pikey, she said. The pink pony grinned and reached into her mane, pulling out a familiar mustache. Can't wear the mustache this time? She eagerly as the Time Eater began to swing its arms forward, let go of the hill. When sensing the earth to the ground, Applejack early said, Sure, whatever, just fire! Pinky put the mustache on and pressed down the fuse button, firing Applejack directly up at the hill. Good thing she didn't take that shot. The Earth Pony thought to herself as halfway up the hill. She swung herself around so her hind hose pointed at the hill, everyone watching as he got closer to the hill. Soon her hind hose hit the hill. It only stopped in midair, but it began to shake through an earthquake was rumbling, cracks beginning to spread across from it. Applejack's point of impact and a sound filling it with his hair. As soon as the cracking stopped, Applejack brought both her forelegs forward, thrust her hose at the hill, smashing it in multiple pieces. Not bad, Eggman said, seeming surprised at the Earth Pony's strength. He then grinned, but not good either. As the pieces floated away from her, as you could see the Time Eater clearly, Applejack was suddenly grabbed by the creature's upper right hand. Bringing in his hand in front of it, he wrapped his other hands around it, hastily trapping Applejack. Get out of that, if you can, Eggman taunted. Pressing down at the hand wrapped around most of her body, Applejack grinned, "No problem." Focusing some of her energy to hose, she placed on top of the thumb and the fingers and began to push. The extra energy she was using. It took her seconds to force the Time Eater's fists open, directing some of the energy to her back hose as well. She thrust all of her legs out and pushed the hands away from her. Then they pushed back against her hose, trying to close in on her again, taking all of her strength to hold them at bay. "Hang in there, Applejack, we're coming!" Sonic said as he and Rainbow Dash flew towards the Time Eater. Pinky seemingly teleporting herself to Applejack's position, starting to help her with Time Eater's upper left arm. As they got closer, Sonic curled to a ball, and Rainbow held her foreleg back, Sonic striking the lower right arm, and Rainbow punching the lower left arm, knocking those arms away. This gave Applejack the chance he needed, taking her right hoof out the Time Eater's hand and quickly moving out of the way as she kicked her right hand away. Pinky knocking the left hand back by calling out her party cannon again. A moment later, Twilight contacted Applejack. "Applejack, I just finished running a scanning spell on the Time Eater. Looks like the orb underneath it is the core." Applejack looked down. Sure enough, underneath the beast was a pink orb he hadn't noticed before. So he grinned, "Well, alright then, out on it!" She flew down as the Time Eater began to recover, and as she floated in front of the orb, she brought her front hose together at her side, forming a C-shape with them. She began to focus the energy in between them. An orange apple made out of energy forming in between her hose, and her necklace glowing as she focused more energy. Once she had gathered enough energy, she launched the orange apple towards the Time Eater's core, the apple bursting upon impact, spreading its energy across the orb's surface. Moving quickly, Applejack swung around, bucked the orb with all her might, pushing the Time Eater backwards and cracking the orb a bit. "No, Babs! Ksh! You either, Big Mac! Ksh!" Applejack swung back around, pumped her hose as she grinned. "Yeehaw! That's what we do it down in the farm, Eggman!" Eggman, Orbot, and Cubot managed to get the Time Eater right in a moment later. Eggman then looked down at Applejack and smirked. "Go ahead and shoot your smart mouth, you country hick. It'll take more than honesty to help your friends fight Discord." He then pressed the button on the control panel, and the Time Eater quickly passed through the portal. Applejack's face held. "Hey, seeds." She looked towards Twilight's group and called over the magical connection. "Girls, look out for Discord!" As they hovered outside the tunnel, Twilight, Rarity, and Fluttershy looked around. Twilight on Fluttershy's left and Rarity on her right as they all looked around, searching for their Quanticus among the time debris. "Where is he?" Twilight muttered. "Come out, you ruffian! We know you're there!" Rarity called. "Oh, you would be both correct. You're wrong on that, Rarity. I am out here, but I could also be in there. Or perhaps I'm not even close by at all, for all you know. I could be right behind you," Discord chuckled. "But if you really must know, with a strange prompt, your conquest appeared a fair distance away from the group, floating among some of the ancient statues, brokering Hollywood pieces, and there are so the previously seen bits that were now floating debris. I'm right here." The three ponies turned to look at him. Fluttershy did nothing.
"That's it. I'm out. No, I'm done with this. Blake, tag in!" Alright, Eggman. Discord. Alright, Eggman. Discord. You gotta have your fun with Dr. Eggman with Cosmere Chaos. But it's time for your little games to end, Twilight yelled. Discord looked at her with an amused expression on his face as he spoke. "I think not, Twilight Sparkle. After all, I can think of only one way to resolve this." Rarity asked again. "Oh, and what way might that be?" Discord held his eagle talon up, his palm flat and fingers pointing straight up. A second later, an appropriately sized deck of cards appeared in his talon. "Why, with a game of cards, of course. How else?" He cheekily grinned. Twilight, Fluttershy, Rarity, and everybody in the tunnel raised an eyebrow at that. Twilight asked, "Cards? That sounds different." Discord replied, "Well, that's where you'd be wrong, Twilight Sparkle. You thought my chocolate milk had quite a bang to it." He smirked as he held his eagle talon up in front of him, placing his lion paw on top of the stack. "Wait until you see the hoof I dish out." He started flicking the cards with his iron paw, sending and flying in the pony's direction. "Hey, how about instead of just being attacked, who wants it to be like that card thing on Kingdom Hearts 2? You know, with that guy who liked to play games? Oh, I love that one. That one was so tricky, and it's just a bunch of flames, isn't it?" As the cards flew towards the trio, they suddenly burst into flames and started flying faster. Rarity, Blake, and Twilight stared. The cards seeming to home in on them, and their speed, coupled with Discord's magic, would make it impossible to not get hit. Blake glared at
glared, and then jumped back as he proceeded to use her shadow semblance to start dazzling the cards. Meanwhile, Twilight formed a little shield, shining a bright color. The cards all struck him. As the smoke began to clear, Silas's group looked on uneasily while Discord stared in curiosity. When the smoke cleared completely, all they could see was Blake in front and still standing there defensively. Sai couldn't help but grin. You see, and meanwhile, everybody was also still shocked. Oh wow, the wings! You know, you would think, Fake, you would have had Fluttershy come up with that instantaneously, on her own. Yeah, this is still kind of insulting to her, Fick. Indeed. Think about it this way. She was able to produce that protection. Fine. We're all happy for her. But rather than her standing bravely and being the brave little man we all know and love, you had her do it cowardly. Going, yeep. When Fluttershy should go, oh my goodness, and then stood forward. Would you like to see how the siege should be done? The cards came at her friends. Fluttershy took a deep breath and took a few steps forward, going, girls, please, get behind me. And then she spread her wings wide, protecting them with a defensive barrier, a shield forming around all of them. The others could only look on shock and Twilight and asked, I didn't know you could do that. Fluttershy could only smile weakly as he goes, I didn't know I could do that either. But I saw those things coming towards us and I knew I had to protect you somehow. And that's the other problem. They're in their super modes. Why does Fluttershy even need to do this? I would say that that's why they're so big, but no. Your opportunity has passed, Fick. And I'm sorry, Cream, but you are not in this option right now either. Discord spoke, drawing everyone's attention back to him. Oh, sure. Go ahead and cheer. So what if Fluttershy can act as a pony shield? You're all the way over there, and all the way back here. Twilight granted, he's right. See what there, shy friend. Fluttershy, we need to get close to him. I'm not asking you to block everything he throws at us, but do you think you can stay close to us so we're all together? And, I think it's okay, Fluttershy. I think this author might finally give you your spine back. Well, alright. Just this once. Aw, so little Fluttershy's gonna fight now too. That's so cute. This will be easy. I won't lose. She says she lifted her wings and then swung them downwards. As soon as they went down, she suddenly shot forward, a light pink aura surrounding her as she flew. Twilight Rarity was surprised and quickly flew up to catch her. Once they did, they noticed she seemed to be slowing down and was having trouble maintaining her speed. Flapping her wings, trying hard to keep going. And her aura dissipated as she stopped in midair. Fluttershy, what's wrong? Twilight asked. I don't know, I can't see to fly like normal. Aw, that's too tight, Fluttershy. You might have chaos on your side, but you're still as bad a flyer as ever. Discord mocked. The pony slid down. He held his eagle tail and snapped his fingers. Bunch of cotton candy clouds appeared above the response, all of them rumbling. I guess you girls will be the ones to feel the pain. I swear as the clouds started raining chocolate milk and unleashed yellow lightning on the three mares. Fluttershy just rolled her eyes and continued to be grumbled. Oh. So, what's up with Fluttershy's wings, Vic? Well, if all I can help— Nobody cares, Luna! Yes, sir. I'll help her, Luna. You go back! Go! Right. I forgot. There's that no God line right over there. Maybe there's sort of burst of speeds. If her momentum from a burst of speed carries over, perhaps it could continue to glide forward? Rarity held her hope to her chin. Oh, that may be it, Twilight. Twilight looked at Fluttershy. What do you think, Fluttershy? I'll try it. Thank you, Twilight. Discord called, Yoo-hoo, forgetting something. The ponies faced forward again and found a dragon's head, fake by the looks of it, floating in front of them. Fluttershy continued to refuse to do any of these scenes. I swear, even when I got something cool going for me, I'm not allowed to do it myself. Just fast forward, will you? This is getting embarrassing. I finally have something I can do on my own, and what happens? I don't get to do any of it. I get to be scared and start running. No, I'm not doing it. Just skip the rest of my scene. Go to Pinkie Pie's bed. I don't care. Rainbow declared, Come on, fat man. I'd like to see you try it. Sonic grinned. Yeah, because next up is a pony who never runs out of energy, even without the Chaos Emeralds. Applejack spoke down. I say where you're going, Sugar Hog. Still like to Pinkie Pie and ask, Blakely, would you care to do the honors? They were probably looked there, I guess. You mean I get to go? Applejack nodded, causing Pinkie to squeal, Wow, just like the video game! It's my turn now! My turn! As Pinkie turned and flew towards the time meter, Rainbow groaned as he flew her hose up. Oh, come on! Rainbow grunted, You, fine. I'll crush you and all of your laughter. Pinkie grinned, I don't think so, Mean Pants. Let's go, Iggy. Time to party, Pinkie Pie style. Rainbow growled, Your party won't save you this time, Pinkie Pie. He began typing on his Mobile's console. After a moment, the time meter fired his yellow projectiles out his back. Nobody cares, Vector! Nobody cares, Derpy! Can't see as you can, despite her saying that. She remained floating in space as the yellow projectiles honed in on her. Applejack called, Blakely, what are you doing? Get out of there! She stopped mid-sentence when, as one of the shots was about to hit her, Pinkie seemingly vanished and reappeared closer to the time meter in less than a second. As everyone watched, she kept disappearing and reappearing alongside the time tunnel. Only shots unable to keep a lock on her for long. What's he doing? Where is she? Orbot asked the Pink Pony fans again. She's over there. No, wait, over there. Now she's over there again. Over there. Oh, I just can't keep up. Keep on exclaiming. I thought she was hard to handle before, but now the Chaos Emeralds' powers, Rainbow said. Sonic nodded. Sure looks that way. Can you tell if she's teleport or just crazy fast now? Eggman growled. Well, she won't hold still long enough to get hit. I'll just have to empty the empty. He had typing on his console at the sound of the key mark. Nobody cares, girls! After a few seconds, Eggman pressed one last button will say, Take that! Slowly, a green aura of energy began to form in front of the time meter's face, beginning to get bigger and grow brighter. Heads up, girls! Sonic yelled, as he, Applejack, and Rainbow began scattering so not to be in front of the time meter. It's a good thing they did. A second later, the orb shot a green laser directly at where they had been. It did dissipate and reappear onto the time meter's right side. Once again, firing a laser straight ahead. This went on for a few moments before Pinkie suddenly appeared right in the path of the green orb. It fired here aside, laser pushing back a ways. Sonic, Applejack, and Rainbow, and the others looked at her worrying. But a second later, Pinkie just giggled. Get tickled. Rainbow started, What the? Sonic smiled. Oh, that's right. We're all basically invincible now. And then called, Hey, Pinkie, why don't you give Eggman some party favors? The Pink Pony grinned out, Ucky ducky licking. She then turned and shot towards the time meter. The her was pointing towards it. Eggman growled, Get away from me! He pressed the button, causing the time meter to raise its upper right arm and swing it towards Pinkie, trying to grab her in his hand. In response, in less than a second, Pinkie came to a stop, pulled her party cannon out of her tail, and quickly fired a sticky pink substance out of the time meter's arm. She fired so much that the goo coated the time meter's upper right arm, causing it to stop before reaching Pinkie, got into his lower right arm, eventually stopping it as well. What is this? Eggman yelled, staring at the gunk. Pinky gave a bored-looking shrug.
Duh! It's the leftover batter from my super sticky double bubble gum for gummy cake. Jeez.
While holding a party can, he grinned and zipped down towards the tiny ear's core, while using its left hand to try to get the batter off. While it slashed at the batter, trying to get it off, Pinky adjusted something on her party can, pointing at its core. After her necklace began to glow, she raised her right hoof and said, "Bada boom!" She slammed her right hoof on the freeze button. As the element of laughter reached full brightness, her party can firing a laser made of confetti, streamers, and whatever else kept the party can. The laser caused the tiny ear's core to crack more as it pushed backwards, rain batter flowing off, its lower set of arms breaking off and falling away as the black smoke seeped out. "No, Charmy! Nope, Amy!" As the laser subsided, Pinky stuffed her party can back in her tail and thrust all of her hose out, saying,
"Whooping! This is fun. Are you having fun, Iggy Wiggy?"
She looked in the tiny ear's direction. She saw that it was just flying there, his head occasionally moving, but mostly she noticed the angry look on Eggman's face.
"Hey, why are you wearing a frown? Tell us again,"
she called. Eggman clenched his hands into his fist and yelled, "Shut up! When I get back, I'll silence you permanently. Then we'll see who's wearing a frown." He slammed his right fist down on his console, causing the black portal to open up behind the time ear. It quickly flowed through a portal, as if it too wanted to try to get away from Pinky. Once the portal closed, Pinky said,
"Hey, they're gone!"
Suddenly her mane, tail, and hose started to act up on their own, which could mean only one thing.
Ooh, Pinky said tickling.
The pink pony looked out towards Twilight Scream and called, "Twilight!" Outside the tunnel, Twilight, Blake, and Rarity looked around. None of them sure why Pinkie Pie's pinky sense was going off. Soon they got their answer when Discord reappeared far away from them and called, "Guess who's back?" The three ponies looked down. It looked like he had done something about the pink mark that Blake had given him, since they could no longer see it. Knowing him, he probably just reached down and peeled it off like tape. Blake looked a little nervous, but shaked it, getting her wits back. But Twilight and Rarity were able to keep their determination.
"Because of course."
"Oh, don't be that way, Rarity. You love your gems, and I can give you all the gems you could ever hope to own and more," Discord exclaimed, snapping his sliding paw fingers. As soon as he did, gems of varying sizes, cuts, and types appeared, floating all around the ponies amongst the debris. Some was even bigger than Tom was. Rarity's eyes sparkled, but briefly enraptured. Before Twilight could say anything to her, Rarity seemed to realize what Discord was plying and shook her head to snap out of it. She then glared at the Chronicles and said, "Your lessons are quite impressive, Discord, but I don't need them. A real lady will only accept the real thing." "No, Rudes! Back!" "Oh, you both win me, Soul. All your high expectations. No wonder you wanted to join the Canterlot Elite, Rarity. You're just as boring as they are." Discord mocked. Rarity's eyes widened and narrowed as he said, "Oh, that does it!" Tilting her head down, she charged up her matching as her horse. She spoke, "Twilight, Fluttershy, stay back. It's time for the lady's touch." Discord's eyes widened as he gasped, much shocked. "What's this? Lady Rarity is going to fight?" He then smirked. "Come on!"
"I've done it before. Why is this suddenly a shock to you?"
"I can quite pack a punch when I need to." Zeta flew towards Discord, and Twilight and Fluttershy following, but staying back like she told him to. Discord grinned. "Well, I know you can pack a kick. You sure gave Applejack quite a boot to the face when you were all greedy, but can you pack a jolt?" He held his arms, showing 6 candy clouds, 3 floating on his right, 3 soaring on his left. He then snapped his fingers. As snaps, the clouds suddenly blew lightning towards the 3 mares. Rarity held her legs back as she flew, elegantly dodging around the lightning bolts, while Twilight and Fluttershy dodged them well. As he weaved around the bolts, Rarity began to grow confident and closed her eyes. "Feeling like the... Ha! Here, let me help you figure out. Name of episode?" Even with her eyes closed, she was still able to dodge Discord's lightning bolts. Unfortunately, she wasn't paying attention to where she was going. See, as Twilight called out, "Rarity, look out!" The faster to open her eyes at that. The thoughts of her gracefulness to cut short, she realized she was going to cross part of a tree from Fog Forest. Rarity let out a yelp and held her forelegs in front of her, managing to plant them on the lower part of the tree and press herself from under it, her hind legs flailing underneath her the whole time. Once she was under and past the tree, she came to a stop in place, looking back at the tree while shooting at her mane, and Twilight Fluttershy flew up to her.
"I'm terribly sorry to interrupt that, darlings, but thank you for casting me, Twilight. I let it go to my head again, I'm afraid." Although, why should I? That really doesn't make sense. I only let it go to my head the previous time because I was looking fabulous.
Blake replied,
Don't worry, Rarity. It's okay as long as you're alright. Right, Twilight? I don't know if you thought about this, Rarity, but maybe you could use your magic to help. Rarity held hope to her chin. I suppose I could flash an idea, Blake dear. Well, I've never been quite as magically kind as Twilight. No sort of chaos and must have really changed that.
Side called to her. Your horn got longer when you transformed, though, Rarity. It has to mean something, right? No, Trixie! We're going to replace you with Twilight again.
Surely your magic can do something besides make you look pretty now.
Rarity nodded. A second later, three bears started to look at the loud quacking sound to see Discord appear close to them. Wearing his mischievous grin. Want to look fancy, do you, Rarity? Well, I'm sure I can help with that. He says he snapped both his fingers, causing several Rarity-sized gems to appear above his hands. Another pair of snaps and the two gems broke up to space smaller gems. Well, soon went up and shot towards Rarity when Discord pointed his hands at her, being guided by his magic. Rarity stared hard at him and challenged her magic to her horn, focusing on the gems flying towards her. The gems were surrounded by a light blue glow. Fashionistas' magic grip seemingly overpowering the magic Discord was using. The Trojans tried to break her hold on them, but no avail as Rarity, after a moment, used her magic to move about a quarter of the gems on a hold side while regrouping the rest of the gems together. She used her magic on the group of gems to combine them together to form an even bigger gem that was composed of a rainbow of colors. Hey, no exclamation points! We already had to deal with that crap with Myken! Rarity smiled goofy.
Aha! It went! So I said, I get it. You have complete mastery over gems now. Right, Rarity?
When did she have it before? Fashionista turned to her.
Not only that.
She levitated the remaining shields over to her, and pinned them along her mane. Gems, while illusions glowed brightly as they attached to her. Rarity felt like her mind said,
My head tells you like fighting. She feels as though there's something special about them now.
Before she could find out, Blake said,
Oh, Rarity, Discord.
The Fashionista whirled around to see the Spirit Chaos was levitating 3 diaries above him. Oh, I see how it is. You say one thing about the gems I create, but you really mean another. I really can't stand that, Rarity. So you know what? Since you feel that way, I'll give you all the times you can handle. He said as he sent the diamonds flying towards the 3 mares. Rarity declared,
Oh, no, you didn't.
He levitated the rainbow gem in front of her, turning it on its side, holding it up like a shield. The 3 diamonds struck it and pushed against it, but Rarity's magic remained strong as he pushed the gem back against them, slowly pushing them back while Discord answered in kind with his own magic, pushing the diamonds against Rarity's gem in full gold power struggle. Eventually, Rarity managed to get close enough to Discord that, as focused on overpowering her as he was, she was able to fly up over her gem and deliver a kick to his face, pushing him backwards. While he was stunned, Rarity's horn necklace lit up, her magic wrapping around the now free diamonds and smashing into the smaller diamonds. The power of her necklace sending him flying at Discord in what was basically a diamond storm. Once he was out of diamonds, she sent her large rainbow gem flying at him, the gem slamming into him like a meteor, pushing him backwards. No, Rouge! And neither you, Sleep Bell. I just realized, with all these random references to the other ponies, how about the Rarity's parents, huh, Fick? Discord reappeared so distant away from Rarity, Twilight, and Blake a couple seconds later, his hands clutching his stomach over to gem him. Rarity's beautiful creation nowhere in sight. Looking at Rarity, he was, My, that was a very ladylike Rarity. Rarity held her head high as he replied, A lady always gives us chances to receive, that's called. I have certainly helped us experience all that already. It's only fair I return the favor. While raising his eagle talon up, Discord grunted, Oh, boo on you. He just snapped his fingers, instantly fancy for sight. While Twilight and Blake looked around, Rarity sighed, Goodness, how much longer? Looking in the direction of the time tunnel, she noticed a familiar vortex opening up inside of it, just ahead of Sonic's group. She gasped, The Time Eater is coming back! Again! Wow! Just like the freaking game!